Hey, we got it.
We got it. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
back there in the dark.
I'm get a better lighting, but for whatever
it's fine. Thank you for joining in.
I'm so cold,
I know it's cold outside. Look, she has her cafecito ready.
Yes, you already know. So you have a cafecito right now, especially in this.
Yeah, no kidding. I know it's nice and warm inside. I don't even want to step foot outside right now.
I know. With cozy sweaters, I'm feeling a little bit of winter, even though we're in California, so we have only 3 days of winter.
I know it's either sunny. It's all, you get everything in one. It's like if you go up to the mountains, you have the snow, and the daytime you have the sun. Yeah. Right now it's cold. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything here in California. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you want to introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about Upraise, what you do.
Yeah. So hi, my name is Brenda. I work for Upraise Your Credit. I'm one of the credit repair specialists. My main job is to help those who have bad credit, repair them, or also help them on their goals.
Right.
So I like helping those clients that need credit repair. The only reason why is because I feel like on being Hispanic, I didn't get a lot of education on that side of the credit repair or anything credit or finances, basically.
Right. Just finances in general. How they don't teach us. They don't teach us.
So I kind of got into it because I want to be able to help those that need, the little extra push or help in life.
Just a roadmap, right? Because sometimes, I mean, we know you get money and you spend it, right? That's the two things we know, but we don't know how credit helps in everything that we do here, right? Like credit is like your identity.
Yeah, like we like to say, me and Liz, I mean, you guys are probably missing her. Me and Liz, we like to say credit, cash is king, but credit is even more king,
Right. Credit trumps cash.
Yes. So you have credit, we like to call it, we are the credit queens,
Yeah.
That's what we call ourselves. I mean, I know. So the way we see it is like, if you have good credit, you're able to get into more places. Now we're seeing it now that even to get an apartment, you need a good credit. Even to like government apartments or government assistance, now they check your credit. And before we didn't see those things happening.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of those clients that come in, they're like, oh no, like I have bad credit, like I need to buy a car. And you're like, okay, we could help you.
Yeah. So primarily, I would think you work with a lot of Latino-based community, right? Is that like who you come across with more, or?
I come across more Hispanics and the Black community.
Okay.
So it's just like the minorities, and the reason why is because we're not taught those things at home, and one, and then two, like our educational system kind of fell on us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they fell on us. So they basically just, they thought it was what I mean, they thought it was whatever they taught us at school. It was just to do basic math, 1 + 1, 2, type of thing.
Yeah.
But they didn't really teach us how like real world works. They didn't really teach you like, how to spend on a credit card.
Right.
And I think those things are very important. A lot of the times when we have a credit card, we think that we just need to swipe it and make.
Mm-hmm. And then you see the minimum amount due, and that's what you send.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, you have a minimum pay due of $25, and in reality, those $25 are like, are you doing anything to a credit card? Probably not. Like, let's be honest, probably not. But I mean, it's one of those things, we don't have the education, so we can't blame the the community. But now we have resources, so it's kind of up to you if you want to be onto that route as well.
Right. It's like you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, you know what? I think that's true, and I mean, I think you and me probably went to school around the same time, roughly, and those weren't things that we talked about. I mean, if you took economics maybe in high school, maybe you kind of touched the surface of it, of what what those things are, but it's just a very like brief introduction. And I used to be a substitute teacher, and I started seeing it a little more now, where they are offering those kinds of classes. But I mean, from when we went to school till now, that's a long time.
I mean,
so
even now, like I just recently went well, I was not recently, when I was going to college, I was going to for business, and they never taught me anything about credit. So I think like it's college, so they're gonna teach you those things that you're gonna need it. No, they didn't. Like we went to like basic, stuff. I mean, I didn't finish it. It was probably maybe if I had finished.
Maybe eventually they would have thrown it in there.
I didn't finish it.
Right.
But that being said, it had me messed up my own credit in order for me to
figure it out,
and it kind of left me right there, well, not mess it up, because I never really had any credit. I didn't really know how credit works, because when high school, what do? They start sending you credit card offers.
Yeah, as soon as you hit 18, right, they're sending you those offers.
18, they're like, oh, by the way, do you want, like, I have one right here. Like, one, like, here, like, here, like, buy something. And then what we do, that's exactly what
spend.
You just grab it, you're like, okay, I feel cool, let me swipe it. Like, just let me go buy them. Like, oh, I want the purse, let me go ahead and buy on my credit card. And then you get to like to limit to, and then you're like, oh, now I'm gonna make my $25 payment.
Yeah. And then what is that? No, please explain to them what happens when you start just making minimum payments.
Basically, when you have a credit card, and you basically, if you have a $10,000 credit card, I mean a $1,000 credit card, you want to basically spend only $300 out of that. Out of that $1,000.
That's that 30% rule, correct? Yeah.
30% rule. And then, and you would think like, oh, that doesn't matter. But yes, it does really matter, because now you're maxed out your limit, and now you're making minimum payments, and you got to think about it like a bank. Well, you're making little payments, and it's not dropping down. And then the interest rates they're still charging you. Imagine if you have a 26% rate, it's gonna be like probably like $30 or $40, and you're doing the minimum payment. You're never gonna bring that down.
Yeah, it's gonna be an uphill climb from there. I mean, you're never gonna be able to chip away at that.
Yeah, and you're just gonna keep on being on debt, and what's gonna happen? Well, you're just gonna be like, oh, I'm tired of paying it. And you're like, I don't want to pay it no more. And then it goes into collection, or you start doing the late payments, and then it starts going.
It's already affected your credit. Yeah,
and credit. And a lot of the times it's just because we didn't know how to make it simple as a payment,
right?
Or even a spend it. Like if we would have be like, oh, okay, like they give you $1,000, but you can only spend $300. Maybe you could put on your head it's only $300. That way you're like more secure, you feel a little bit better. Okay, I could do my 30.
I can do a 300. I can't do 1,000.
Easier to get.
Well, I think a lot of people think it's kind of like it's just it. Yes, it's credit, and it's money that you can use, but you have to pay that money back. It's not just it's for you to use. It has to be paid back. And so these companies, that's how they make their money, right? With those interests, and they're giving you the money up front, but you have to pay it back. And if you don't pay it back, what you want to do, like we've discussed, is what you want to do is pay it in full every month. That's actually the proper way to handle credit, but we oftentimes don't do that.
Yeah, or even just do like a simple 2 little payments. I don't remember, like we talked about this the other day. It's just like, we have a due date, and then we think that's the same thing as a billing cycle, and it's not. A lot of the times, as I said, we're not taught these things, and we just think, oh, well, if I pay it before the due date, it's gonna be fine. No, we still have to,
Yeah, can you explain that a little more, how that works? Because I know you get your statements.
So we have our statements, right? And then you will have your due date, and then you will have on top, or it will be either billing cycle or end of cycle.
Right.
Either way. It will show you right there. And then the end of cycle usually is between 28 days to 31 days. And usually they're a few days apart. And basically what the end of cycle means, or end of date, it just means that by that date they're going to tell Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian this person owes us this much.
Right.
The easiest ways to put it. Let's not get too technical.
Yeah.
Person owes to this much, and then they're just reported. So in reality, before that due date is due, that's when you want to not due date, the ending date, like the billing
cycle, the billing cycles over. Yeah.
So that's when you want to pay it off.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the one that's gonna be sending all this stuff, it's the credit bureaus, which is Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And obviously, like if you're trying to buy something, you're a realtor. Now you see that they're trying to buy something. The debt ratio, it matters, right?
Right. And then and then going back to why credit matters, you have to think of it from a lender's perspective, right? Imagine you are going to lend money to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's two types of people. Are you going to lend money to someone if you're looking at their history is not very good at paying on time or maxing out credit cards?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be a little skeptical to want to lend this person money, as opposed to the other person who, has a low debt or pays their stuff on time. It's like, well, I mean, look at it from a lender's perspective. It's like, well,
Yeah.
That's your identity. That is what that's all they have to base off. They don't know you. And they don't know your finances. They don't know any of that. So they're going off of this score.
They just want to make sure you're able to pay back. And that's how we have to see it. We have to make sure we are able to pay back. They want to see that. I mean, that just think about it. When you used to go to school, they used to send you your
report card, your progress reports, right?
Right? Like your progress, how it is. It's the same thing. It's a credit report that we get. It's the same thing. Just look at it. Now it varies from points. I mean, I want to say a 650. It's already a poor credit because now you can even get probably a car with the 650.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 700 credit score. It's an okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have 750. It's okay. You're doing good. And it's like, oh, you're doing great. What do you need? Let me lend you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What's your choice?
Now, if you think about it, if you have below 600s, it limits you so much. I have clients that come because they want to buy furniture, and they're like, well, I went to Ashley's and they didn't even approve me on Ashley's, and I'm just like, really? Like, yeah, because my credit score was so low. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me help you. And that's
I think I don't quote me because I've never worked in furniture, but to my knowledge, getting furniture is harder than getting most things because you can't take back the furniture if you don't pay for it. You can go and take back a car, or you can, take back a house, but you can't take back furniture. So I know furniture is one of the hardest things to get, but even so, like you said, if we mentioned about like the ranges of scores, and to buy a house, I mean, you can get as low as I think 630, but at that point you're dealing with the highest rates. So then you have the cost that it's going to cost you to borrow at that rate.
Like, well, you like a lot of people, they don't even have down payments, right? They need assistance.
Right.
That being said, you have less money, you're gonna have to give more money, because your credit score is crappy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very crappy, and then or you're gonna pay higher
interest
rate, higher payment. That's what it means. So if you want to keep it low, have a good credit score. How you're gonna get to that? Well, start checking your credit score. I mean, if you can't check it, then how you're gonna know where you're at. If you already think that you already have a bad credit score, what are you gonna do? Well, let's see how can I fix it. Take that first step.
Right.
So I mean, and
that's where you guys come in, right? Because I mean, obviously there's a lot of things that people can do themselves.
Mm-hmm,
but if you already put yourself in that situation, you're
limited.
You're limited because you didn't know a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So then you would have to seek the help of a professional to get you where you need to be. So what would be your number one thing? Obviously monitoring your credit is a big thing.
That's a big thing. I mean, now we have Credit Karma. Yeah, Credit Karma is good, but it's not as solid. I like to say it's not really solid. The only reason why is because they only give you two credit bureaus, which is TransUnion and Equifax. Don't call me on this because I can't remember if it's Equifax or Experian, but they only give you two. And then ideally you want all three of them.
Right.
Maybe if you try to apply for a car, maybe they just check TransUnion and Experian. So you should see where you at on those two, or maybe they just need Equifax and Experian, you know. So you just gotta make sure all three they're in good condition. So whenever you go apply, you're like, oh, okay, here, I'll let you borrow the money. I trust you. Yeah, I've seen that you're doing a good credit history, you know, like you're being with your credit for too long, like 10 plus years, and you haven't messed it up.
Right. So we talked about things that, so what are good debts and what are bad debts? So, because there's things, right? We said there's the three things that people, they want to see that'll get you right over that $800 score, right? Not $800,
Right.
800 score.
800 score. So the 800 score usually take a good mixture between two credit cards, but not Victoria's Secret credit card or Navy credit card. It's more like a bank, like Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America,
The big one, Capital Ones and American Expresses. Yeah.
American Express, those big ones. Two of those credit cards, and obviously a car loan and a home. Those right there those four will get you to the 800 credit score, because ideally that's what they want to see, that you're able to manage all that then.
Right.
Yeah. Now,
but,
like,
go ahead.
If you're starting credit, you know, because maybe you're just starting credit. What should we do when we're starting credit? Maybe not apply to Old Navy one or to store one. No, apply for a Chase, Wells Fargo, even Capital One. It's a really good one to start. Depending who you're banking, you should go to your banker and be like, okay, I want to apply for it. Let me see if I could start credit with you. Or even credit unions are really good as well.
Yeah, credit unions are great. Yeah. They offer lower rates.
Mm-hmm. Very low rates. And if you're trying to buy a car later on, even a credit union could.
Even establishing yourself with the credit union, with having credit with them, yeah, they like I said, they offer very low rates for new and used. So it's always best to, if you can get with a credit union, get with the credit union, right?
Yeah. That's I mean, that's what I told all my clients. I want to get you to the next step. I asked my clients, what's your goal? What do you want to buy? Why are you fixing your credit? And then a lot of them were like, oh, well, I just want to buy a home. Or some of them are like, you know what? I just want to have my credit ready. And so for whenever I need something, I could have it ready. And it's a good start. And I want to thank everybody that, you know, that actually is taking a step on it to fix your credit, or even just looking into it. Like, congratulations, because it takes a lot. Some people get really nervous, you know, just to see it, like, oh, I'm so nervous, I don't know what it looks like. And it's just because finances overall, it's a very stressful. It could be
it's just it's a tough subject, because I mean, that's the way you manage money. I feel like people are like, oh, they're judging me.
Yeah,
I'm being judged by the way I handle money.
Yeah, believe it, we're not judging you. As a credit repair specialist, I'm not judging you. We all make mistakes, and I believe on second chances. That means, you know, you messed up, and it's okay.
No, you and me discussed this. I mean, in my 20s, my credit was terrible. You know, like, it was bad, and it all goes back to what we were discussing, that my parents are not from this country, so they came here, and you know, they were figuring it out. And my mom didn't get credit till she was much older. Her credit is excellent now, but I didn't learn that from my parents. I learned that literally through trial and error. I messed it up, and then as I got older, I realized the importance of it, and I did the proper steps to fix it. And then so now my kids will know better, because I had to go through it. So now when I teach them, they'll know, so they won't have to deal with that. But like we said, if you don't know, you don't know.
If you don't know, you don't know. Like, let's that you touch on to, you know, kids, you know, it's gonna get a little bit more, we're gonna get off subject. You don't want, as a parent, you don't want your kids to make the same mistakes. Right. So a lot of the times they come and ask me like, oh, Brenda, how can I help my kid build the credit? Well, let's check your credit first. If your credit is good, then add them to your credit cards, to one of your credit cards. But if your credit's bad, don't add them, because don't
do that to them.
Now you're messing up their credit. You're putting like a little dot on it when you want to make it clear, like clean. You want to have that credit score clean. So, as you said, we don't know what we don't know. We worry about these things.
And there's some credit cards too. I'm gonna look it up. There's some credit cards. I know that some have like minimum age requirements that is usually like 13 and older, but there's some that let you add them at any point.
I know Chase. I know Chase and Capital One. I believe, I'm not totally sure, but I believe they're at 16 years old. As little.
Yeah, there's
most of them are.
Each credit card has different requirements, but I know there's some. I'm gonna look it up. I believe, yeah. See, most of them. I know City. I think City is one of them that lets you add them, at any age. But yeah. Anyways, back to the point. There's definitely things you can do once you. What is it?
I'm complimenting on your makeup. You look so good.
Oh, thank you. It's the filter. But yeah, like I said, it's like now that we had to go through the crappy credit and the correction to be able to set our children up better. So I mean, definitely now, like you said, there's so many resources out there. There's there's things like Credit Karma. I mean, it's good. It's free. It helps you monitor.
I know Chase and Wells Fargo, they have their own, if you bank with them, they have their own little credit monitor. So that's also an extra help, you know. So
I think most credit cards, all the credit cards that I own, for the most part, I believe, offer some sort of credit monitoring where you can check your credit often. So that's one of the steps I know that is very crucial. Even jumping into home ownership, if you're looking to get to that at one point, it's best to start now. It's like, it doesn't matter if you want to buy a year from now,
but you need to
now.
start today.
Start now fixing that.
Fixing, not only that, it's like, okay, you want to buy a home. I want to say, let's put it as a team player. Like this big old teams, like, you know, they have a coach, so they could get them to the end line, right?
Right.
Because you don't know what you don't know. We go back to that.
Yeah.
So that being said,
that's gonna be our motto for today.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know. So, you know, if you really don't know, you know, I want to buy a home. Okay, well, get with the realtor, with the trusty one. Don't go, you know, go with the realtor. You know, the realtor is probably gonna have a lender that's, you know, like her, Regina, right here.
I'll be your realtor.
Right? And then you probably already have a lender that you're trusting and you like he's well knowledge or you know about this topic.
Right.
And, you know, if your credit's bad, that's when I come in. And then between all three of us, let's create a plan for you that's gonna take you to the next step, which is your overall goal, get the home.
Right.
So let's get your finances like let's see how much budget do you have for your home. Let's see if you need savings. Let's just start now. If you want to be a homeowner by next year, and you're like, you know, you don't, well, or you don't even know where to start. Well, start by simply like DMing you or DMing me or, you know, or calling us. We could help you. We could guide you.
Right.
You know,
it's just a phone call. And I think oftentimes people get intimidated because they think, you know, they're going to get pressured or sold something. But because you even are interested in knowing about credit or owning a home, whether you buy it tomorrow, next month, 6 months from now, information is power. So just having just general information is going to help you figure out what you need to do. Because like you said, first thing is start now. Second step is monitoring your credit, knowing where you are in your credit. Because I mean, it sucks to go into something blind. Like, I don't even know what my credit score is. But even then we talked about, so go ahead and tell the viewers what are the aspects of ratio that you remember. We talked about your utilization, and then we talked about
your utilization. It's 30%. No late payments under any circumstances, because that's 35% of your overall credit score. So that's what I like to tell my clients. I was like, I don't care what you do, but do not make a late payment. Like,
you're better off just calling the credit card company and telling them, hey, I probably will not be able to make this month's payment, and getting it deferred or something.
Can I get an extension? And then most likely companies be like, okay, let me give you an extension. That way, so you could avoid getting that late payment, because late payment affects you.
Or them thinking you're avoiding them in general.
Right?
Just the fact that you're even calling them and telling them, hey, I want to make the payment, just something came up or whatever. It's like, that gives you worthiness in itself, because you're not just avoiding paying altogether.
You're not avoiding paying it, like you're trying to pay them, and you know they're probably gonna feel a lot better, like, okay, like she's trying to pay, like let's go ahead and help her out. A lot of the credit cards nowadays, they have like insurance. Not all of them they offer them, but some of them already offer them. I have a Capital One, and that one does has the insurance where like you pay, I believe I pay on,
oh yeah, there's a fee, and in case you ever get unemployed,
yeah,
or hard times.
yeah, it's $100 that you pay extra, like once you get the insurance, and then it gives you, just in case you can't make a payment,
It kicks in.
it kicks in. And then it goes up to like I believe, don't quote me on this, I think every credit card is different. Well,
Yeah,
mine,
and every plan is different, right?
yeah, I believe it's 6 months.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you have 6 months to get back on your feet and be like, okay, let me go.
There's options for you. There's options, definitely. Yeah.
You
I
know,
remember I told you when I messed up my credit, and it was because, I was 18, 19, whatever the case was, and I didn't have the foresight to be like, oh, let me call and tell them I can. It was just like, oh, I can't pay it, I'm done paying. Oh well, like, and that's totally not the way to deal with things. You don't avoid them.
I think most of the time we try to avoid things because we think if we avoid them, it's not true.
It's like gonna go away. Yeah, it just went away.
It's like, no, it's not. Like, it's
gonna come back to you. It's gonna come back later,
and it's gonna be worse. So just try to fix it while you can. Like, try to do something about it while you can.
So we were at 30 utilization, 35% accounts for your late payments, and what is the?
And it's 10% of your overall history.
Okay. So your payment history. So as long as from the beginning of your credit,
not your credit history, just like all your cards, all everything. We go back to what's your good mixture of your credit score. The 2 credit cards, the home and the auto.
And the auto.
Yeah, that's what it is. So they want to see combining all those things. It's right. Your credit score. And now, like, I want to talk a little bit about, like, what if you have, like, you have a lot of credit cards open? How do you tackle those,
Right.
Well, you can't eat a pie all by itself or a pizza all by itself, right?
Right.
So you're tackling one by one. The one that's like the smallest one, well, try to make more payments to that one.
I think, don't they call that, what is it, the snowball effect?
Yes.
The snowball. You tackle the smallest one, and once that's paid off, you start paying that amount to the next one, and
the next one,
you get to the one.
You finish all of them.
Right.
Because obviously, if you had a great credit score, you could just get a different, with no interest rate.
Or the balance, the 0% interest introductory or balance transfers. Yeah. There's a lot of things. People you have to get really creative with credit and shifting money around, if that has to be the case.
I think, like, the new world, and don't quote me on this, I think the new world is the credit. Because you don't pay taxes on that.
Yeah.
You're not taxes on that. So I really believe the new world is gonna be on credit. If you're wealthy, why will you waste your money when you could waste
you can use somebody else's
money? That's my memo. Like, why would I pay, it's like I have a credit card for like Costco, right? So they give me rewards for using that.
Right. You're gonna buy groceries anyway.
You're gonna buy groceries anyway. So why am I gonna go out of my way to pay with cash when I just received a check of $200
right
2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, okay,
just for doing what you were going to do anyways.
So I'm like, so you're telling me that by using these credit cards, I'm gonna get money back? Oh well, it's your credit cards.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, it's like you don't understand how, I think our culture too, because I have an uncle who just thinks, cash is king, like you said, and everything is cash, and they're like so against credit. And it's kind of like, you're going to put gas in your car, you're going to buy groceries, you're going to do all these things, so why not get their cash back for purchasing the things that you are already going to purchase, and just paying one single bill when it comes at the end of the month?
Yeah, like I also sometimes like, oh well, let's look at your credit, because it's some clients that don't have bad credit, but they just don't know where to start.
Right.
Well, I like those clients the most. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I could probably, avoid them the little hip hop. Like, I could, I could avoid that. Like, so I like to talk to them. And then now my, the other girl, aka Liz.
Yeah. Liz, I saw Liz joined in. Is Liz in here?
It was me. I think my phone wants to die. Oh, no. And I charge it.
Oh, no, Brenda. Charge your phone.
I'm charging my phone as we speak. My husband's going to be like, you're always dying.
It was like super low, and I was like, let me charge it before I go on, so that I don't run into a dead phone.
I had charged it, but I think my phone is messing up. If my husband's right there, like, please buy me a new phone already.
Yeah, Brenda's husband, buy her a new phone already.
Buy me a phone already. Put on a credit card. No, just no. I think my phone is messing up from the battery. So we're like, I think like I'll overcharge it overnight.
A lot of us do that. I know.
So now my phone is just like not charging correctly, or it dies on its own.
I think phones are like by default designed to just have the battery poop out at some point. So you just go buy another
one. I think especially iPhones.
Yeah, I know. iPhone, you're not slick. We know what you're doing.
We know what you're doing. We see that all the time.
Yeah. You're like, oh, the new one came out. Let's start messing up the old ones. Right? Yeah, I know. Enough with our Apple conspiracies.
Yes, we're gonna start Apple conspiracy. Come and join us next time. No,
so going back to debt. Another point I want to make: if you're looking to buy a house or just anything in general, what you want to do is decrease your current debt.
Yes.
Because that's going to be a big factor that loan officers are going to look at, is that debt to income ratio. So if you're looking to buy anything big, they want to make sure that you've tackled that little debt before you take on this big debt. Yeah.
Yeah. And not only that, it's just like, if you're trying to purchase a home, don't go and buy a car, please.
No, please don't do that. Wait till after close and then go do whatever you want.
Yeah, after the car, go ahead and do it. But not right now. Go ahead and just stop. Like, hold on. Uh-oh. Not the phone. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's decreased debts, and you want to avoid any of those big purchases. If you're going to make a big purchase, you don't want to make multiple big purchases. No. You want to which one is it going to be? Is it going to be the car? Is it going to be the house? You don't want to do both.
Unless you make a lot of money, you could do both. But if you have a minimum wage, look into it. Look into your credit score. Look into your savings. Look into all these things that come along to it. That's what you need to have. As I said, you need to have a great realtor, because if you have a great realtor, you have a great team player, because you're gonna guide them whatever they need to go, right?
Right. I mean, I'm trying to get you to your. I mean, a lot of people see homeownership as like the ultimate, the American dream, a big accomplishment, and it is. It very much is.
It really is.
But there's so much more to it. Even after that, it's like you're not understanding that owning any kind of real estate is setting up your future generations for wealth.
Yeah, wealth. Yeah,
even your net worth is going to go up by owning this piece of property.
And what do you think right now, as a realtor, where they tell you oh, you know what, I'm waiting for the interest rates to come down?
Oh, that's funny, because I mean, I don't ever want to offend anybody, but I mean, real estate is real estate. And so I just literally posted a video yesterday, and it's literal proof that because people are so scared of the interest rates right now, a lot of houses are selling, and people are negotiating those prices. They're dropping them 10%, 15, 20, $50,000 from the list price, because
that's great.
Yeah. Because you can't have both, right? So it's either, if the interest rates are quote unquote higher, and then we're just comparing them from the pandemic days when they were in the 2%, and I don't see that coming back anytime soon. But they say, oh, these rates are high. Yeah, but what happens is the houses drop lower, because obviously you can't have high houses, high rates. Conversely, if the rates drop, everybody's gonna want to buy, right? Because they're like, oh, it's 2% interest, I'll go buy.
And we're gonna have the line again,
the competition. So now you're gonna overpay for the house. Yeah, your rate is lower, but now you overpaid for the house. So I mean, it's really there's never a good or bad time to buy real estate. If you can afford it, if you're ready, if you have the savings, buy it. The rate that can change. As soon as it changes, your loan officer is going to be the first person to call you and be like, refinance your loan out and get that lower rate.
Not only that, you should be ready with your credit score. We go back to credit. We need to be ready for that. For when you need to refinance, your credit
is where it needs to be for you to even be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
or even like if it comes to another opportunity, just like pandemic, where like there were 2%, you better be ready with the credit.
Right. Because credit is an ongoing thing. You have to constantly be monitoring, taking care of it, making sure that it's where it's supposed to be. Part of adulting, you know, making sure that all those things are up and up, that you're being on time with your bills, that you are not taking on more than you can pay, that you're using credit the right way, having it work for you, like we said, having those credit cards that are going to give you 5%, 3% cash back,
3%, 2%, even 1%. Like, come on. Like, even if it's 1%, please go ahead. Like, it's giving you money back. You might not see it, but
yeah, you're gonna get it back. And if you calculate that, all the money that you're gonna make throughout the year. But the key thing is, if you're going to do that, make sure you're paying in full.
Yeah, make sure you're paying on full. You make sure you're paying on time. As I said, time. And I want to like emphasize on that, like on the timing. Like, make sure you pay on time your credit cards. Make sure you don't do a late payment. It's just because you had a 600 credit score. Now it drops you 35%. That's almost 520, 540 when it drops you to. So now
that's hard to dig your way out of, you know?
Yeah, now
it's gonna like, take you a while.
Yeah, now it's just like, now you have to, you could talk to us so we could go ahead and remove it, or you're just gonna stay stuck right there for.
But then there's more money, right? I mean, because your time is not free, and that's gonna be work. So why let it get to that?
Why let it get to that? Come on, like but if you already got to that point, well, let's try do something about it. Not just stay right there.
Or not just fix it. Is actually just having you understand how it works and educate you into not making those same mistakes again.
Yeah, like as I said, we do free consultations right here on Upraise Your Credit, right? We do free consultations.
Tell them where you're located. We're in the city of Fontana, everybody. We're Fontana based. Yeah, Fontana.
We're right here on Fontana. We're right here on 9161 Sierra Avenue, 203B. But if you want to come with us, to talk about your credit, go ahead and make DM us or call us to 909-315-1613. I'll go ahead and put it on the note. Call us. Call us, and then we could go ahead and make an appointment for you. And then don't think that we're just gonna sell you. Like, don't think that you're just gonna get there and then we're gonna be like, oh, I want to sell you to fix your credit. No. Oh no. I don't want to sell you anything. I want to give you the information. You don't pay us anything until we start working on your credit. So the consultation is totally free. You get 45 minutes of our time, and like
to pick Brenda's brain, ask all the questions you have.
Yeah, and in 45 minutes, believe it or not, it's like you have
hi soul.
You have a really good at timing for you to ask those questions, like, what's going on with my credit? Like, how can I fix it? Let's make a plan for you. Like, let's elaborate on it. Now, obviously, it's going to take time. It didn't take you overnight to get where you at. So all I'm asking, like, whoever, just be patient. Be really patient, with us. We're trying to work as hard as we can on your credit, but also you need to be patient.
Right.
It's going to take time. You're going to start seeing, like, results in 3 to 6 months, but it's not all gonna get fixed. Whatever you did in 10 years, it's not gonna get fixed in 3 months. Like,
be realistic with your expectations. Yeah,
with your expectations, and I think we have been really good at telling those things to our clients, and that's why we still open until this day. Even during pandemic, we were still open because of it.
And the beauty is that it's like there's Zoom now. There's just over the phone. It's you don't even have to make your way to the office if you're busy. Whenever you have the time, just make a Zoom appointment and
Yeah, a phone call, and we could just go over it. We send your credit report. If you want to make up an appointment, you can also do it from our website. One of our representatives will call you. It'll be me, Liz, Sylvia, or Elvia, or any other,
They're all very helpful. They're all very eager to help and service
and even if you speak
community.
Spanish, exactly. Even if you speak Spanish, we speak Spanish too,
Se habla español.
Se habla español over here.
Yeah.
Aunque a veces nuestro no sabo que be coming now once in a while,
Yes, same for Dream Life Realty and loans. Whatever you need, Gabriela Lopez is excellent. She is very knowledgeable. We just want to help you guys get to your goals. So whatever those goals may be, whether it's the first step of getting your credit where it needs to be, contact Upraise, contact Brenda, Liz, all the ladies over there. They'll help you. They'll definitely help you get where you need to be. And then once you're ready to buy that home,
just
call us.
Call them.
Call me.
Call her. Call Regina, please.
Call me. I want to help. I want to get you to your first home. It's just as simple as, like I said, it's the information's out there. It's not secret. It's not, this big secret that, no, it's like the information's out there now. The thing is, are you going to apply it? Are you going to take what you're learning and actually apply it and try and be better? Because like we said, you don't know what you don't know, but now you know.
Now you know, and
now you know.
It's gonna be your fault if you stay like this. So
yeah, there's no reason why we can't all be in the 700s, in the 700 club, 800 club.
8. I want you guys to be all in the 800 club. If I'm quite
we want you guys in the 800. So call Brenda.
We want you to
and then call me and buy the home. So you have the 3.
We're all 3. Look, we work with them. They work with us. That's, we will make a plan for you guys to get where you need to be. If your overall goal is to buy a home, well then get with Regina, ask them, so she can contact you with the lender. If you don't have if you don't have a lender of your own already, then with the lender, we check your credit score. We plan between all of us something for you.
We know what sometimes and oftentimes it's like, it's not even it can be as simple as, okay, pay this now and then do this one later. It's like, we know which one is going to benefit you the most.
I want to add something. We have something called trade lines, which is like it's basically, it's like somebody else let you borrow their credit. It's positive lines that are they're gonna boost your credit. We like to call them boosters in here. So that booster, if you already, your income checks in, your your savings check in, your debt ratio checks in, and then you just have a low credit score and they already have, everything else checked in, maybe you should give us a call. Maybe we could just give you a booster and then you could just get to your overall score,
right? And because sometimes, like I said, if you're already hovering in that 600 range, it's like, I think the minimum score, to apply for any kind of home loan is 630. So you're already there. And if you really need to get into a home, we can get you there. Like I said, the rate is just something, if you can afford it, go for it. The rate is just something we can improve upon once your credit is improved and the rates get better. That can change.
Like not too long ago, the interest rates were like 7-8, right?
Well, there's I think they were in the 7 range right now. But a new report came out, and I think things are looking up for us. Things are looking up.
I was just looking at the report this morning. Don't quote me this. I look at the report on this morning, and it was like a 6.6, something like that. And I'm like, oh, it's coming down. So hopefully, those people that are really they were waiting for the interest rate to come down. Guys, it's coming back. Like, it's going down a little bit.
It's coming. Lock it in now. Lock it in now. The 2-1 buy down. We can get the low interest rate now and wait to see what happens in the market. And if it goes lower, great. Now you have a lower rate. If it goes higher, then you still have a lower rate because it went higher. So you can't lose. You really can't lose. And like I said, right now is the time. Don't let anybody tell you different. Right now is the time, because we can negotiate those prices. We can get the sellers to give you credit for whatever it is you may need, closing costs, to get the buy down.
Yeah, not only that, right? Like when you refinance, do you get some money back too? So why wouldn't you want to make money back?
Right. Yeah, we love money back.
We like money back in here. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I like money back for everything. I like credit cards that give me money back. So
Yeah.
I mean, even then, like, let's, refinance later on, get some money back, and then maybe that helps you get to your second property,
Right.
or third,
Generational wealth,
or
people.
fourth.
It doesn't stop at one property. We
It
need
really
multiple
doesn't.
properties.
Who knows? Maybe later on you're buying like an apartment complex, and that could give you, like income later on.
Cash flow, right? And
Cash flow,
eventually you don't have to
and
work.
you don't even have to work, and you're like, okay, now I'm sitting down on cash now. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
why not? But
So
just get
true.
your first and the first property, and then if you want to do it like into second property, well, then keep in touch with Regina, because she's gonna be like, okay, let me help you get to second property. Let me.
I got you. Anywhere in Fontana, I got you.
We got you.
Inland Empire.
There you go. So then you have that. And then, third property, again, Regina is great. She's going to help you, you're going to be on good hands.
Yep. And if you need to get in touch with any credit specialist and you're local, you're not local, contact Upraise.
We do in 50 states. 50
There you go.
states.
See, you don't even have to be in Fontana. All
You
50
don't even got to be in Fontana or California. We do it all in 50 states.
Well, there you go.
So there you go. So it shouldn't be an issue for you not to call us, or even,
Send us a
what's
DM.
up?
Yeah,
Send us
send
a
us a
DM.
DM.
Tell them
Yeah.
like, hey, Brenda sent me over here. And I'll be like,
Yeah.
it's probably me answering. Hi, how are you?
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna take too much more of your time. I know you got your boys.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys probably heard mine's crying in the background. So I'll let you enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you guys
Me too.
for
Bye.
tuning in and watching us talk about credit.
If you guys like it, or you guys want to see more like this, just go ahead and DM either one of us, and then we'll try to arrange something out for you guys.
For sure.
Thank you for having me.
Share it.
Thank you for having me. I really
All right.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Bye, Brenda. Nice talking to
Bye.
you. Bye.